Salutations everyone, and welcome to a special bonus video for Let's Play Mega Man X3. And yeah, first thing I want to show you here is in Blast Hornet stage. Like I said, there was an extra side boss, or an extra mid-boss that you get to fight, and it just so happens to be a cargo ship. It's not so much a boss fight, it's more like these drones just keep dropping these packages onto this airship, and supposedly these are the things that are supposed to be going towards Gravity Beetle's stage, and that's kind of the reason why those boxes disappear after you beat Blast Hornet stage, and why you can get the heart piece in Gravity Beetle stage, because basically you're supposed to be dealing with this. But because we went to Gravity Beetle stage first in the Let's Play, we didn't get to see this boss because it's completely over with. But I figured I wanted to show this mid-boss here. It was right where the heart piece is, just after you get like the Rhydon mech completely unlocked. So there you go, guys. That's the first thing I want to show you, but I got a bunch of other things to show you. Alright, the next thing I want to show you guys is what happens if Zero dies when you're playing him. And basically what happens is Zero has one life, and one life only. If he dies, you go back to Dr. Kane's lab, and as you can see here, just Zero says his power generator gets damaged, and that's it. So yeah, you can't play as Zero anymore, and that's all that happens. Zero's gone, and you don't get his beam saber or anything. It's just a loss, and that's it. So I don't know what else to say. You can't summon him anymore, he won't show up, and there's some side effects that happen. Alright, I'm back, and yeah, I just got done beating the last Maverick, and instead of X and Zero showing up to Dr. Kane's lab, and Dr. Kane basically telling both of them where Dr. Doppler's lab is, basically X just shows up by himself. And yeah, there's no Zero to be in sight whatsoever. So basically what happens is, yeah, Zero's not here to be at the final cutscene when Dr. Kane reveals where Dr. Doppler is. And that's all that happens. I mean, basically, Dr. Kane pretty much says the exact same thing. Dr. Doppler is building some kind of robotic battle machine or battle suit, and X figures it must be for Sigma, but there's no feedback from Zero, so there's not much different from this scene from the last time we've seen it, but I just figured I'd show this off anyways, and yeah, there's not much else I can say about that besides, hey, no Zero at this moment, and there you go, guys, the whole cutscene right there, you don't see Zero whatsoever, so there you go, guys, that's all I wanted to show you. Alright, I'm back, and I wanted to show you what happens here if you don't have Zero when you go to this first mid-boss in Dr. Doppler Stage 1. Basically, right before we fought this guy, Zero came up and said, oh, the ceiling's collapsing, I'll deal with that, you deal with this guy. In this case, you can just straight on fight him, and it's no different than what we did before. And yeah, as you can see here, he's just attacking us like crazy. I was trying to get past him just to show something, but I have to destroy him anyways. As you can see, he's dead. But we have this generator thing here, and that's what Zero was taking out so that the ceiling wouldn't collapse any further. But because we didn't have Zero with us, yeah, you had to take that thing out. Otherwise, yeah, that would cause the ceiling to completely come down and collapse on you. But I figured I'd show that, and I have more things to show. Alright guys, I figured I'd play both of these clips at the same time, even though one's longer than the other. But basically, this is what happens if you leave both Bit and Byte alive, and kind of their text change. You can kind of see in both screens what happens. Basically, I fight them both with the Mega Buster, and because I'm on easy mode, I barely take any damage from these guys. And yeah, basically, it's just their dialogue on what happens when they both survive. And I know it's kind of awkward to see both screens going on at once. This is one of the effects I have, but I figured if I play both of these at the same time, it kind of saves me a bit on cutting and whatnot, so that way you guys can see both these guys at the same time, both their texts. I mean, I guess pause if you need to read both texts and stuff. I know it's kind of awkward to hear both soundtracks going on at the same time from both of them, but what can I say? I mean, I figured I'd show both of them off at the same time, and you get to see the text from both of them, and just what kind of changes happen between the two of them, just because you let them live, and instead of using their weakness and whatnot. So there you go, guys. I figured I'd show that. That was Bite down there, and we have Bit up ahead here, so all we have to do is just, yeah, wait for the one scene with Bit to run out, and that's about it. So, there we go, guys. But that's both of them surviving, and that's all I can say is both of them surviving, and that's their dialogue. So, there you go. Alright, I'm back again, and because this time around I let both of them survive, basically when we go up to this boss here, it's completely different. As you can see, we don't have like some weird tunnel thing down below and off to the right. Basically, there's no elephant thing. Both Bit and Bite show up, and they have new modifications. What kind of new modifications? Well, let's find out. Okay, here we go. Fusion. Ha! And yeah, they turn into this chimera thing. In my opinion, yeah, just personally in my opinion, I believe this boss is a lot easier than that of the, like, waste dump thingamajig that we fought. Because all you have to do is just hit their head part here. And regardless of whether Bit or Bite is still left alive, they both turn into this thing. And yeah, you can kill Bit or Bite and leave the other one left alive, and they'll both turn into this thing. And I'll show that off on the next clip, but yeah, they just basically turn into this thing. I think it's a lot easier, and it doesn't matter if they're both alive or not. It's still the same strength, regardless of anything. But there you go, guys. That's what happens if you leave Bit and Bite left alive. You fight that creature, so there you go. Alright, I'm here again, and this time I have, well, yet another split screen again. And as you can see, in this one, I left Bit alive in one, and Bite alive in the other, but I killed off the other one. And basically, this is their dialogue, and basically, like I said before, you fight that chimera thing that they turned into when they were both alive, and it's pretty much the same strength, regardless of whether Bit or Bite is still left alive. And, yeah, it's the same fight, regardless of anything. So, as you can see here, here's me fighting it regardless of anything. And, yeah, that's on both files. I mean, it's not like it changes anything up. They both take the same damage. They both have the same techniques. It really doesn't matter which one you leave left alive or whatever. That's what you're fighting. It changes nothing. There's no extra dialogue. It's just... there you go. Leave Bit and Bite alive and you fight this thing. Or, yeah, leave one of them alive and then you still fight that thing. My opinion, I think it's a much easier boss than that of the junkyard thing, regardless of anything. But there you go, guys. I figured I'd show off both of what happens if one or the other is left alive, but the other one is dead. And, yeah, you got to experience it right here. So... I still have more stuff to show, so here we go. So here I am again, and this time I'm fighting Vile once again. And this time I decided to fight him with the Mega Buster, and let's see what kind of dialogue he has if I leave him alive instead of use his weakness. And to be honest, this is not really much of anything impressive. As you can see here, I'm just fighting him. And again, I'm on easy mode, so it's kind of a little bit easier for me to fight him. I also figure out what his attack pattern is, regardless of whether I'm on easy mode or not, which is kind of funny. And to be honest, nothing really much special happens here. Whether you fight him with his weakness or not, what happens ultimately at the end is basically you still have to escape this area regardless of anything. But this time around, he has no dialogue for us, and he just goes away. And that's it. That's all he does. He just goes away, and you still have to escape. So, as you can see here, I'm going through here, and that's about it. It still plays out the same. So there you go, guys. That's the only thing different. Alright, I'm back again, and this time around, because I had Vile left alive, basically when you go to the second part of Dr. Doppler's stage, whoa, what happened here? Holy moly. Yeah, this is the grand scheme of what happens. Basically in the Let's Play, I had Vile destroyed when I first encountered him. But because this time around, we basically let him survive, this entire place is completely in shambles. And yeah, I know I'm on easy mode, so things are a lot easier. And yeah, once again, I got the golden armor and whatnot. That's pretty much still there in Dr. Doppler Stage 1, as long as you don't get any of the extra chips and whatnot. But this time around, I can actually take this machine, because surprisingly down below, because everything is in shambles, well, you're going to be surprised, because last time I took the frog suit and I completely failed with it. This time around, there's no water down below here. So as you can see, yeah, I can just take the hawk, I guess, and just fly around from one platform to another. And to be honest, I think this is a lot easier than that of using the frog suit. So there you go. But yeah, pretty much the stage is, this stage is pretty much the same, but different. Now here, this is where I had Zero fight a mid-boss, but unfortunately because Vile's left alive, this mid-boss does not show up. Even if I switch to Zero, the mid-boss would not be there, so you cannot get Zero's Beam Saber if Vile is left alive, and you get over to this stage. So if Vile is gone, the first encounter, and you get to the stage, that's the only time you can get Zero's Beam Saber, as long as Zero is left alive, and you have Zero take down the mid-boss. In this case, because there's no mid-boss, it doesn't matter if Zero's left alive or not, you cannot get, well, the Beam Saber whatsoever. But pretty much, for the most part, this entire stage is pretty much, well, the same as it once was. But once we get to the boss, things get a lot different. And all I can say is it's like, yeah, we fought Vile, and when we fought him the first time, he was in a mech machine, pretty much similar to that of what he had before. And basically, when we fight him this time, he's also going to have another mech machine. And once again, we're also going to have to fight him, like, outside the mech machine. So it's going to be a two-part boss fight, rather than a one-part boss fight with whatever that underwater creature was that we fought the last time we were here. But this time, because there's no water, because this place is destroyed, yeah, all we're going to do is fight Vile, and that's it. There, I could jump across and go over there, but I figured forget it. And yeah, I'm showing this entire stage off because I want to show you guys the whole place in general and how it's in shambles and whatnot. As you can see there, this time around, I didn't fall halfway through getting up those slugs on the spike walls. But this time around, yeah, we go over here, and this is where we entered the boss room in the first place. But as you can see, there's no water here, and whatever that creature was, it's completely gone. Instead, you go through this boss door, and we have Vile we gotta take on. And to be honest, Vile in this form, he's a little bit harder. I believe his mech is weak to, Crush Crawfish's weapon, and then Vile himself is actually still weak to scatter shots. So basically, that's what you could use against him. Me, I was just taking him on with the Mega Buster. I am on easy mode, or I turned working mode on, and for the most part, there isn't much different from what he does. This time around, the machine can actually fire off shots, and yeah, he still goes around and swings its fist around and tries to hit you. But as you can see, yeah, even the mech itself has, like, you know, wall barricades you have to avoid. It's charging up a shot right here. As you can see, it has a shot it can shoot at you. And that's the only thing different with the mech fight. For the most part, it's pretty much the same fight. Just jump over him, put a shot into him, and yeah, if he's trying to shoot at you and whatnot, just avoid it. Most likely, if he's off screen, he's not going to shoot at you, he's just going to charge right at you. But because we destroy his new mech, Goliath, basically, once again, he's going to try to fight us without his mech. And yeah, for the most part, it's pretty much the same fight. And once again, he's still weak to, well, scatter shot. as I keep calling it, Scare Shot. Only this time around, he has slightly different moves. This time, he can kind of stun you. He actually, yeah, see, that's a stun move right there. He's got a little bit quicker flames, and yeah, in general, he's a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. That's about the only difference. But because I'm on rookie mode, you don't really notice too much difference with his strength. And also I have the gold armor as well, which you can still see he's still doing a bit of damage to me, but still I'm like cheesing this entire fight because, again, I'm on rookie mode. But it's pretty much the same in general. And his dialogue this time is no different than when we destroyed him the first time. He's going to haunt us until I die. And yeah, it still goes just as slow. But I fast forward it because I'm like, I'm not waiting for this to go out. But yeah, guys, that was Vile. If you leave him alive, that's Dr. Doppler stage number 2. And that's pretty much the entire difference of what goes on in there, rather than fighting that underwater creature. So there you go, guys. But I still have a couple more things. So let's look at them really quick, and I'll get right back to you when I get to those footage things. Alright, guys, I'm almost to the end here. Right now, I made it all the way to Sigma with basically Zero still left alive. And I figured I'd just start out the stage and whatnot. But basically, when I move up ahead and move on, what's going to happen is something completely different. A cutscene happens right over here. Zero shows up, and yeah, this is only if Zero's still left alive and he didn't get his, beam saber. As you can see here, Zero is basically going to leave us to take care of the power generator of this place. You wonder why this place self-destructed the last time when Dr. Doppler engulfed Sigma's virus into him? Well, this time around, it's because of Zero. Alright, finally, I'm at the last of the clips I can show you. But guys, this is after you beat Sigma without the beam saber and with Zero still intact. And it's a hard fight. I was on rookie mode, and you can see my health right there. And that's actually after a couple of sub-tanks I had to use. Yes, Sigma is still able to hit you like a truck, even with rookie mode on. I would show that off, but it's pretty much the same fight, and it's ridiculous. But guys, instead of Dr. Doppler showing up, Zero shows up, hits him with his beam saber somehow, and as you can see, Sigma is freaking out. What did Zero do exactly? Well, I'm sure you guys can read the dialogue. But to sum up what happened, as you can see right there, he picked up the antivirus, used it on his beam saber, and as you can see, yes, Sigma is now spazzing out. But the funny thing is, the thing that they don't tell you is that because Zero went out and looked for the power generators of this entire place is going to explode. Pretty much, to be honest, I actually like it where Dr. Doppler shows up, absorbs Sigma into his body, and then self-destructs himself just for the sake of ruining Sigma and destroying his lab and getting all traces of Sigma completely removed whatsoever. In this ending here, it's basically Zero shows up, uses the beam saber on him, and Sigma is supposedly exploded while Dr. Doppler's lab explodes there. The only difference now, because Zero was left alive and was in our party, is, well, as you can see here, it's a much wider picture. Basically, I don't know if Zero has always been there or not. I mean, if you can compare the ending I had to this picture where Zero was, or where X was standing on his own and whatnot, I have a feeling, because of the way they narrow the picture down and whatnot, I have a feeling that Zero is still there, but because of, well, Zero dying or being gone or whatever the case is, I would assume that they basically closed it off to make it look like, well, Zero wasn't there and it's just X by himself looking at the wreckage of Dr. Doppler's lab. But that's just my guess. I mean, that's kind of a way to save save the ending and whatnot, considering it's just a small edit, whether Zero's there or not. But that's just my opinion on how they fix things. If anything, I kind of like this ending, just with Zero there in the first place. I mean, I like the ending where Dr. Doppler sacrifices himself to get rid of Sigma himself, but for the most part, I honestly enjoy the fact that Zero's here in the credits, looking at the wreckage of Dr. Doppler's lab with X. And then, not only that, even when the credits start rolling, well, basically Zero's going to be there with us, running right behind X in the first place. And to be honest, I find it to be a nice touch. Really, I wish they would have worked a way where, whether Zero made it or not, if Zero did not make it, I really wish they could have had it where Zero finally shows up, looks at the damage, looks at X, maybe like gives like some kind of salute or some kind of like sign to him. X acknowledges it, and then they both look at the wreckage or something like that. And then at the ending credits here, just both of them running like this, regardless of whether Zero made it or not. That's just my opinion, because I like the touch that Zero's there at the end with X. But to be honest, I mean, that's the only difference between Zero being alive and whether he's not or anything, is whether Zero's there with you in the credits or not. And to be honest, I actually like it, or I like it where he's there in the credits, but I like it where Dr. Doppler was the one who sacrificed himself to get rid of the Sigma virus. That's just kind of my opinion on how things go. But guys, this was all the footage I could show you. This was all the extra footage I could show you in the game, all the possibilities that happened. I know it was kind of weird and twisted of me showing two clips at the same time. I'm sure you can see one better than the other, and I'm sure it's kind of offbeat hearing both soundtracks at the same time. But all I could say is, I mean, I'm glad I figured out I could play both clips at the same time, because I do have a future Let's Play in mind after I get done with, well, the next Let's Plays I want to do are Mega Man 10, which is the next one I'm going to do, Mega Man X4, Mega Man 11, which will complete the entire Mega Man series, and then I want to do Mega Man X5 just because, in one sense, Mega Man X5, which was originally supposed to be the true ending to the entire Mega Man X series, but then it continued on after there, and, well, I'll get to that when I get past that game. Oh boy. Yeah, you're hearing me sigh already, because those who know about Mega Man X6, again, I'll get to that when I get there. But guys, this was all I could show of Mega Man X3, and what can I say? My next Let's Play is going to be Mega Man 10. I want to get through all the Mega Man series, show that off, and then after I get past Mega Man X5, I have a new Let's Play I have in mind. I'm working my way to kind of get through my first playthrough of the game, because I kind of want to show off things in my first playthrough of the game, doing a specific thing, so that way I could show it off in the actual Let's Play itself to better examine certain things. And it's kind of glad that I was able to find that you can play two clips at once, because, well, now it'll be making it easier when I do that Let's Play. And I don't want to spoil what I'm doing, but it'll make it easier to make a comparison when you can see both clips at the same time, going at the same time, and see the real difference between certain things compared to my first playthrough and the main playthrough I'm doing, or what I call my second playthrough, which I'm actually going to truly gauge my characters at. But I won't spoil what Let's Play I have in mind, but it's going to be quite a long one with over 30-some characters to go through, and I'm going to play them all. And I'm sure some of you can guess what it is, because I did mention it way beforehand, but I actually can record that game and whatnot. And yeah, all I could say is, yeah, that's about all I can tell you. But guys, yeah, this was Mega Man X3. This is all the possible things that you can see out of it. I hope you enjoyed my Let's Play. I hope you enjoyed this extra video here. And what can I say? I'm going to take a few days off, and then, yeah, then I'll get to Mega Man 10, and yeah, that'll be my next Let's Play. So until the next Let's Play, guys, you guys take care. I'll see ya on the next one.